on the campus of the University of Northern Iowa. Good Saturday morning, everyone. We're set to bring you this Class 1A championship game. West Lyon will get the football first. And set to kick off for Dike New Hartford is Byron Fritsch, and there's head coach Don Betts of the Wolverines on the sidelines getting ready to start this game. And there is the head coach, Jay Rosaboom of West Lyon. Deep to receive for the Wildcats, Adam Tunissen and Trevor Schneiders. And we are set to get this one underway. Byron Fitch, freshman. And this 1A game is underway. Short kickoff.
Somebody get on it.
Bounce near the 30. Scooped up and a nice return. Kind of stumbling his way up there, Tyler Van Middendorp. But a good job by that young man. Picked the ball up, gained about 10 yards.
And he was kind of vertical to the ground for about 9 of them. That's a heck of a return.
Well, West Lyon comes in 11 wins, 2 losses. Dike New Hartford also 11-2. There's Cody Grotwald right there, the quarterback. 41 out of 65, 614 yards and 7 touchdowns.
And again, that's just a little over 3 completions per game. They are not exactly Air West Lyon.
I formation in the backfield. Cody's going to hand it off. First man through the hole. Now they're pretty big. Cody Arndt, 6'3", 215 pounds. He's in that backfield. Alistad's also pretty quick. Schneiders, Arndt, and Tunissen. The offensive line for West Lyon, 210, 195, 215, 216. Joel Turwee and Brendan Turwee, both over 200 pounds. And then the other offensive lineman there, Kenneth Knobloch, he's tipping about 200 as well. Tight end to the near side, full house backfield. Wildcats with the football. That's going to be close to the first down. I tell you, Zach, I like that blocking scheme right there. Trevor Schneiders on the carry.
Yeah, we'll try to take a look at the replay here, but it looked like they had a 3-back backfield that they were able to get some momentum going downfield.
Starters defensively for Dike New Hartford: Tanner Johnson, Troy Irvin, Breen Greer, Terry Moody up front in that secondary. Colin McLean, Eric Jablinski, Mike Weldeman, and Royce Poole. 25 takeaways overall for that Dike New Hartford defense. They're allowing 18 points a game coming into this contest. Again, 3 in the backfield. First man through the hole, a pickup of just a couple. Brennan Miller, the inside linebacker for Dike New Hartford. Top tackler on this team.
Should mention on that last play, if you look, Dike had 9 in the box. And so they are really crowding the line of scrimmage. And again, 41 passes all year completed. It's not like you got to really concentrate on stopping the passing game. You can really load up in the box. And there you see it again. This time they're going to split 2 wide. They've only got 8 in the box.
Tight end near side. Arndt on the carry. Breaks a tackle. He's got some running room. How about the angle of pursuit? He's gone.
We talk about it. When you got 8 in there and they don't make the tackle, there's nobody else to clean up.
It was a good job by the offensive line, putting a hat on a hat. Great hole. Good job executing up front for the Wildcats. We'll see the replay here.
One of our keys in this game was Cody Can Do, and Arndt hits a home run early in this ball game.
Good job by 75, and the tight end coming down on a combo block up to the next level to the linebacker there. Sprung a big play.
Like the good fundamentals there. Switch the ball to his right hand to get it to the outside. Good fundamentals.
Trevor Schneiders for the extra point. The run up, the kick, it's good. 7-0 Wildcats on top of the Wolverines early on for Cody Arndt. That is touchdown number 18 on the season. Seven nothing, the lead right now. West Lyon on top of the Wolverines. It'll be Dike New Hartford's first possession here in just a couple of moments. Eric Jablinski deep to receive for Dike New Hartford. Trevor Schneiders will kick off for West Lyon. Now, we talked a little bit about in the opening comments, fellas. Dike won a state championship. Dike New Hartford going for their first.
Correct. Dike won it in '81 before they consolidated with New Hartford. So Dike New Hartford looking for #1, even though Dike already has one.
Nice kickoff there by Schneiders. Bounces into the end zone. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line coming up for Dike New Hartford. The Wolverines, head coach Don Betts in his 4th year. And there's the West Lyon scoring drive. 4 plays, 63 yards, 1 minute, 41 seconds gone. Arndt, that big 50-yard run.
Great start for West Lyon.
Absolutely.
They couldn't have drawn it up any better than that.
We mentioned the lineups. The Wolverines' offensive line averages over 230 pounds. So look for them to try to establish the game right now with being physical up front.
And they've got a very physical running back who's going to take the snap in the Wildcats.
Wildcat formation, Josh Reckers, and we've got a fumble on the play. The ball hit the turf. I think it may have bounced right back up into his arms. What a fortunate turn of events there. Eric Jablinski lining up in that Wildcat formation. He's a little slow to get up. The ball popped out, and it went right back up into his arms, and he will come out of this football game.
It looks like he might have hurt his forearm or wrist pretty bad.
It might just be a contact thing, too.
I think that's what they're working on right now.
Yeah, he had it in his hand.
I didn't know if he was holding his hand out like he had broke his hand.
Either a wrist or a contact lens. We'll get the story right. It's okay. We'll figure it out. 2nd down and 9 at the 21-yard line. I formation in the backfield. Nice hole up the middle. Pickup of a first down. Nice run there by Cy Eichenborg. And let's take a look at the starters for Dike New Hartford. Josh Reckers is your quarterback, 1,700 yards passing on the season. Miller, Jablinski, and Poole right behind him. Weideman, wide receiver. Up front, not bad size. Tanner Johnson, Andrew Barker, Troy Irvin, Nick Parker, and Cody Palmer. Green Greer is the tight end, number 99. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. I formation in the backfield. Fullback's going to get the carry, and there's not much there. The carry there for Dike New Hartford, running into just a hole. I believe that might have been Brendan Miller. The starters defensively for West Lyon: Bo Hasselbrook, Brendan Terwee, Kyler Kellenberger, Sam Meyer. Those are the guys up front. The linebackers, Van Ginkel, Thompson. In the secondary, you got Schneiders and Grotwald. Cody Grotwald in the semifinal win had a 100-yard INT return for a touchdown. 24 takeaways overall for West Lyon during the course of the season. 2nd down and 11. The ball at the 32-yard line. And to give to Jablinski, he's back in the game, and he finds no running room. The defensive front for West Lyon doing a nice job so far. Sam Meyer, number 88, on the front line for the Wildcats of West Lyon. 3 forced fumbles on the year. And already, through 4 plays, Dike New Hartford has put the ball on the turf once. They recovered that fumble. And this is a big 3rd down play now coming up for the Wolverines. 3rd down and 11 at their own 32-yard line.
This is not good territory for Dike. They've got to be short yardage in 3rd down situations.
Reckers back to pass. Has plenty of time. Sends it out into a crowd. Batted away in and out of the hands. There were 2 receivers down there.
Three of them.
My goodness. In and out of the hands. Royce Poole had the best chance to come away with that football, and it bounces away.
I know this wasn't by design, but this play ends up looking like almost like a Hail Mary. You know, the play you run towards the end of the half, but he throws it, and look, there are 5 players. There's 4 right there, and then the 5th guy almost makes the catch. They had 3 receivers within 3 yards of each other.
Reckers is connected on 127 to 217 for 1,600 yards and 20 touchdowns.
Eric Jablinski punts this one away.
Out of an option look.
Return is on. The option given.
Oh, they got him.
West Lyon on the run back. Adam Tunissen down the far sideline. Still pounding away across the 20. 1st and 10 coming up for West Lyon on a sensational punt return for the junior.
Well, we see a lot of time in these state title games, it's who can capture the momentum first. And right now, it's all Wolverines, all Wildcats. Great first drive, and this is setting up for a short field on their 2nd drive to put more points on the board.
They got the wall, and, you know, I just want to comment. They snapped the ball and then pitched it to Jablinski, who punted it. How does that affect your cover lanes when you're in that type of look? I mean, they don't spread out. They don't have gunners. That's a tough punt to cover from that formation.
Split backfield, tight end to the near side, and a pickup of 5 on that first play for the Wildcats.
Both teams like the dive play, as we've seen. It kind of establishes just some rhythm to their offense.
2nd down and 7, pickup of only 3. But the football rests inside the 15-yard line. West Lyon can put some points on the board. They're averaging 31 points a game, over 400 yards of total offense a game. 2 wide receivers split out to this near side. And the give to Arndt, and he is wrapped up.
Nice
Sensational
tackle.
defense there by Dike New Hartford.
Great tackle.
Brendan Miller from the linebacker position, one of the top tacklers on that Dike New Hartford defense.
Watch him get low, wrap up. Nice job. Get a little help at the end there.
Miller's 5'8", 170 pounds, just a very physical junior. Still has another year to play.
3rd down and 6.
It's the ground and pound. There's no question about West Lyon. That's what they're going to do.
Trying to break it to the outside. Does just that. Going to be close to the 1st down.
He's got it.
Sully Alastaz on the carry.
Good decision here to cut it up inside. He's got a chance to run to the pylon, but watch. Cuts in off the block by Arndt, turns it up. We're going to measure, but I think he's got it.
Sully Alastaz coming into this game, 640 yards rushing with 5 touchdowns. And they can kind of mix and match. West Lyon can, their running backs. You've got Sully Alastaz, Cody Arndt, Trevor Schneiders, all those guys very effective carrying the football. Arndt, who already has a 50-yard touchdown run, he's a 1,000-yard rusher. Trevor Schneiders, also a 1,000-yard rusher coming into this game.
Both are big physical guys. Yeah. Snyder's checks in at 6'2", 181, and Arndt's 6'3", 215. Both real physical backs.
1st and goal to go for the Wildcats of West Lyon. Arndt on the carry, shakes 1 tackle, gets to the 1, 2nd and goal to go.
And this is where we were just talking about their size comes into play. He picked up an extra 2 or 3 yards by falling forward, keeping his feet moving. We'll see the replay here off tackle, just a straight play. Just a good job keeping his pads lower than the defender and falling forward.
He
pick
runs
up an extra 2 yards.
Right through a couple of guys. Royce Poole finally brought him down.
They overloaded the right side that time with an extra man, just ran right behind him.
Power I formation in the backfield. Arndt on the carry, the push by the offensive line. Touchdown Wildcats.
I tell you, when they line up like that and they've only got a yard to pick up, that's going to be tough to stop. They did a great job of executing there, but at the end of the day, that's a difficult play to stop.
Up front for Dike New Hartford, they're not light at 270, 195, and 195, but the push by the offensive line of the Wildcats, Lucas Bowman, Joel Turwee, Brendan Turwee, Kenneth Knobloch, getting the job done for the blue and white.
I love the fact they hit that up quick. You know, they pulled it off the line of scrimmage, only a short distance, really hit it up quick, and then, man, that ball almost hit the camera.
Extra
that
point.
was right down Main Street.
Extra point by Trevor Schneiders is good. 14-0 right now. West Lyon with the lead on top of Dike New Hartford. 5 minutes, 20 seconds to go here in this 1st quarter. Now for Dike New Hartford, this might be the most important offensive possession of their season. That ball goes into the end zone. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. They've got to get a drive together, get a couple of 1st downs, get some confidence going inside that offense. West Lyon up 2 touchdowns with their defense. This is a bit of a hole right now for the Wolverines. Dike New Hartford beat number 4 West Branch in the semis 21-14. In that football game, the defense forced the Bears into 3 turnovers. Dike New Hartford's a good team. I mean, when you beat Coach Butch Peterson and the West Branch Bears, I mean, you're a good football team.
The one difference is they held West Branch to 14 points for the game. Inwood West Lyon has 14 points in less than 7 minutes.
Jablinski ahead of steam, a pickup of about 5, maybe 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4. You are watching the Iowa High School Football Championships on the Fairway Championship Television Network, and we do want to remind everybody also go to www.ihssn.com, the Iowa High School Sports Network website. We are archiving 111 state championship events, and you can watch those for free. And that starts with this weekend's state championship football games. Jablinski stopped in the backfield, smothered, 3 blue jerseys all over him.
Well, that was their first look out of a shotgun spread formation, hoping to open up the inside running lanes a little bit. We'll take a look. There was nowhere to run
1, 2,
for
3. He got about 2 steps off before he got hit in the backfield.
Nick Thompson leading the charge, kind of smothered up the hole. Bo Hasselbrook also went on the stop. Bo with 10 tackles for loss this season. Number 84. There he is.
A real quick, Mark, on the archives on the website, all 3 games from yesterday are up.
That's
and they
wonderful.
are classics.
You're right. We saw 3 fantastic football games. That pass a bit high, and this will be 4 and out for Dike New Hartford. They'll have to punt. It's 4th and 9 at the 21-yard line.
Well, if you're a Wolverine, that was not what you were hoping for. You at least want to establish some kind of field position at a minimum. They didn't even do that. So
now the receiver was open. I think a good pass would have had it. And Josh Reckers, a junior, he's a good quarterback. 1,700 yards passing, 20 touchdowns on the year. That one just got away from him.
They're probably going to pitch it to Jablinski to punt again here.
There's the kick.
Almost blocked.
And this is going to skip down to the 40-yard line, maybe to the 39-yard line, and that's where Dike New Hartford will down it. So the Wolverines will be back out on defense. The Wildcats back out on offense when we 14-0 on top. West Lyon leading Dike New Hartford in this Class 1A state championship game. Let's take a look at the last drive, and it was all set up by a punt return. Adam Tunissen down the far sideline. Wall was set up. He had great blocking out in front of him. That put the football inside the 20-yard line. A couple of plays later, a little smash mouth and a touchdown for West Lyon.
Aren't capping off an 18-yard drive with that 1-yard touchdown run.
well, it's always easier to start on the short end of the field. That's for sure on an offensive unit.
2 wide receivers coming out to this near side. Adam Tunissen, number 1. That's a good look at him. Tight end to the near side. Rolling out, Cody Grotwald. He's going to tuck the football, and he's going to run with the football up near midfield, across midfield to the 49-yard line. First down, Wildcats. Dike New Hartford coming into this football game, their playoff run. They beat number 3 Applington Parkersburg, number 5 Woodward Granger, number 4 West Branch. This Dike New Hartford defense is a good one. Right now, though, West Lyon has found a way to nitpick at that Dike New Hartford defense. They put 2 touchdowns up on the board here in the first quarter.
You know what, Mark, though, I want to remind everybody, in our 3 games yesterday, the winning team trailed in every game. So even though Dike New Hartford is down right now, this game's not over just yet.
Power I formation. Arndt on the carry, trying to spin away from a couple of tackles, and he is finally smothered. Terry Moody in on the stop for the Wolverines. Second down and about 8. And the ball at the 48-yard line. Well, 8-player football, Armstrong Ringstead. Congratulations to those student athletes. Class A, it was North Tama. Last night in an instant classic in overtime, Dowling Catholic beating Iowa City High. That was a fun game.
You know what's interesting, too? Yesterday's 3 games, the lowest scoring game had 69 points in it. Offense is dominated yesterday.
The end around, great defense by the Wolverines. Oh my heavens! You know darn well Adam Tunissen tonight is going to see Nathan Riggle in his dreams.
Well, this is a good job of being gap sound.
Here's the key right here is these guys on this side get upfield. And when they bring around the reverse, there's just absolutely nowhere to go. Watch the penetration up at the top. Shed the blocker. See, look at that, nowhere to go. 4 guys right there at the point of attack. Good job.
I apologize. Sully Alastaz on the carry for West Lyon. 3rd down and 12 at the 48. Split backfield. The keeper, Cody, running around to the 40. Dives forward. 3rd and long. Is that going to be a conversion for West Lyon? Very close to the first down. Let's see where they spot it. At the 40, they needed to get just across the 40 for a first down.
Well, good misdirection
he is
here.
Right there.
Good misdirection here. Good fake. Following the lead blocker. Great block by number 17.
He didn't get a real good mark there because actually the ball hit the ground before his knee did, and they moved it back about a foot from where the ball hit the turf. And so this is going to be an interesting mark that we have a hard time seeing.
That was a great run there by Cody Grotwald. No question about that. First down. Wow.
And let's tip our cap to the blockers on that play, because that was an extremely well-blocked play.
Jay Rosenboom is going to send in the play. Cody makes his way back into the huddle. The defense of Dike New Hartford is set. Both these teams 11 wins and 2 losses coming into this game.
Big conversion on 3rd and 11. Big conversion.
Leaping it to the outside. A little bit of running room. A pickup of 3, maybe 4 yards before Trevor Snyder's is driven out of bounds. Now that time I thought the Wolverine defense did a much better job spreading that play out.
It was a good job pursuing, not letting him get to the corner, trying to cut him in back inside. And if he was going to get to the corner, make him take a long time to get there so the rest of your defenders can get there too.
Now they just ran the ball to this side for the first down. They go sweep on the opposite side. It's about time you see Arndt up the middle. They've tried to spread you sideline to sideline. Let's see if they go something up the middle.
Power I formation. Back to pass. We have a man open. Grotwald. The pass is up. The pass is good. Freeing his way downfield. Bo Hasselbrook, the tight end.
That was all set up by their dominating performance up front in their running game. Set up off a play action pass. Tight end streaked right down the field wide open.
Bo on the season, averaging about 20 yards per catch, 4 touchdowns, and he got behind the secondary and reeled that one in.
The fact they did double play action with the fake to Arndt up the middle, then the fake toss, man, that's a tough play to defend.
2 in the backfield. 1st and goal to go at the 5. First man through the hole. It'll be 2nd and goal to go at about the 1. Late flag on the play. Alistaz on the carry, but a flag comes in from the far sideline.
I think this might be personal foul somewhere. Face mask, okay.
Face mask on the Wolverine defense. They'll set the ball half the distance to the goal line.
5-yard face mask on the defense. To the goal. Still first down.
1st and goal to go at about the 8-inch line right now for West Lyon.
This is not pretty right here.
Quick stat brought to you by Windstream. Total yards, West Lyon 136 yards of offense so far. We're not even through the 1st quarter.
Back to the power I formation, dive play.
And that's
Touchdown.
137 yards.
2nd touchdown of the game for Cody Arndt.
Well, just if we could cue up the replay from their last touchdown, it would look just like this one.
In
Just
short yardage situations, they're going over right side. They decided to do that. That time they lined up Terwee in the backfield in the power I, and man, that's a lot of beef coming at you on that right side. There's just very little way to stop that.
Terwee is senior, 5'11", 260 pounds.
And by the way, a young man who has overcome cancer.
Cancer survivor. That's right. We talked about that before the game. Yes.
Be a pretty sweet reward for his high school career.
The extra point up, good. 3 possessions in the 1st quarter for West Lyon, 3 touchdowns. 2 possessions for Dike New Hartford, 2 punts.
Well, I think right now they're just being more physical. If you look at the 2 leading tacklers for Dike New Hartford, it's Brennan Miller, 108 tackles. He's 170 pounds. You look at Cy Eichelberg, 175 pounds, 5'10". But then you look at the backfield that the Wildcats are putting out there. You've got 180 pounds, 6 foot. You've got Snyder, 6'2", 181 pounds. Cody Arndt, 6'3", 215 pounds. The linebackers for the Wolverines really right now don't stand a chance.
I think there's been 2 things. Number 1, field position. West Lyons had great field position in this
I
first
agree
quarter.
with that, Chuck.
I think that's been one of the keys. And I think if I go back to the keys that we had before the game, Jay Roseboom's dialed up some pretty good stuff. He ran the reverse on the punt return down to the 18-yard line. The pass play to the tight end. When they only complete 3 passes a game. He's already got 1 in the 1st quarter for a big game. He's got some good stuff going. Jay Roseboom does right now. He's dialed up some nice things.
Well, Coach Don Betts has got to have a conversation right now with his team to remind them it's a 4-quarter game. And what game was it? Was it the 8-player game where it was 20-0?
No, that was the Madrid-North Tama game.
Yeah,
Madrid got out 20-0, and North Tama then just absolutely went berserk.
Came back and won the game. That was the Class A championship game. Jablinski on the return crosses the 20 up to about the 22-yard line. 1st and 10 now for Dike New Hartford.
I think one thing Coach Betts has to remind his team is, and there you see the scoring drive, 8 plays, 60 yards. just shy of 3 minutes with Arndt with a 1-yard touchdown run. But Coach Betts has to remind his team, we don't have a 21-point play. And a lot of times in games like this, you'll see guys try to do too much. Instead of just accepting an 8-yard gain, they'll try to break 3 tackles and end up fumbling the football. Just do what you do. Do not try to do more than you're capable of doing. And that's going to be really important here.
Shotgun formation. Josh Recker sends it out to the flats. A pickup of 8, maybe 9 yards. Mike Weldeman on the reception. Michael is the top receiver on this team. The 6'1 senior on that catch.
Nice play on first down.
Shotgun formation, rolled them out a little bit. Good pitch and catch.
Take that all day until they stop it. I'm going to keep running that play.
Second down and 1 at the 32-yard line. 30 seconds remaining here in this opening quarter. I formation in the backfield. Second man through the hole, Jablinski, and there's nothing there. And again, just the defense of West Lyon finding the gaps and shooting the gaps from that linebacker spot. That time Nick Thompson, the 223-pound senior, getting the tackle.
There's no question they have decided we are taking away Jablinski. And that's the guy they're keying on and they're spying on, and they have said he's not going to beat us. Somebody else is going to have to step up and beat us. And after 1 quarter, Dike New Hartford hasn't found that player.
West Lyon on top, 21-0. Quarter number 2 when we return on the Fairway Championship Network. Quarter, Wildcats on top of the Wolverines. 3rd down and 3 for Dike New Hartford. This is a big 3rd down conversion. Got to turn the corner. The defense closes in. It'll be 4th down and 1 at about the 32-yard line.
Got to know down and distance. He had to get another yard downfield.
It was an excellent job by the defender there. Looked like number 24.
Dylan McCarty coming up to make the stop.
It's a good job.
You know, Josh Reckers throws a pretty good football. Rolled out that time, delivered the ball where it needed to be. 4th down and inches at the Wolverine 31-yard line.
Here's a big roll of the dice right here, because I don't know if they're going to punt this. They're in that punt formation. Now they got a guy coming on the field late.
We're going to kick it back.
There you go. Okay.
There's the punt.
Play a little field position. Nobody back, which is a break. Ball rolls out of bounds about the 27.
And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats right there. Well, here's your first quarter statistics for West Lyon. Their star running back, Cody Arndt, 8 carries, 66 yards, 3 touchdowns. And it started with a 50-yard touchdown run.
Just a good job there, keeping his feet moving. A couple arm tackles aren't going to bring down the 6'3", 215-pound senior.
3 touchdowns the first quarter. Not a bad effort.
Not too bad at all.
He's on pace for 12. I think that'd be a state championship game record.
1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Arndt on the carry, trying to shake 1 tackle, not going to shake tackle 2 and 3. Smothering defense there by Dike New Hartford.
If Dike can get Arndt to run sideways, they're in good shape.
Well,
it's when he gets upfield is when they get in trouble, and you'll see the penetration. He tries to spin out. That's not his ball game. He needs to get going upfield. He needs to run north-south, not east-west.
The other thing you noticed there, those weren't arm tackles. Those were fit tackles.
Contact tackles.
Both guys did a very good job of sizing him up. As we saw in the replay of his highlights on his first run, it was all arm tackles.
Number 24 is Cy Eichenborgen on the stop there for Dike New Hartford.
Power right.
2nd down and 14. Snyder's on the carry. Crosses the 25-yard line up to about the 26-yard line. Trevor Snyder's the 6'2 senior running back.
Well, they pulled both the right guard and right tackle. Misdirection to the right side. Pulled the opposite lineman back way. Both did a good job. Good job by the running back cutting it up, getting his yards.
That's the old Redskins counter tray right there. But a big down here. They converted 1 earlier on 3rd and 11. Let's see if they can do it again.
Last time it was just a QB rollout.
Right.
That was
high formation in the backfield. A pro set, wide receiver to the top, 1 to the bottom. Draw play, running room, not quite to the 1st down marker.
Flag on the play.
Sully Alastaz on the carry. And again, the secondary of Dike New Hartford responding. Guys like Royce Poole, Colin McLean, Eric Jablinski, and the penalty is going to be on the Wildcats.
You decline this? 4th and 5?
Boy, I would agree with that. 4th and 5, make him punt it away, get the ball back.
I think I turned this one down.
Why give the offense
Block in the
another
back.
crack?
On the offense, that penalty has been declined. 4th down.
I'm going to take a look at this replay here and get a good look at the block in the back.
From the end zone camera, you see the draw play, Alistaz. '76 with a little push there to Eric Jablinski. And here's the punt.
Uh-oh, this is not going to bounce well, I don't think.
On the punt.
It did.
It'll take a wildcat bounce to about the 38, 39-yard line. So that's where Dike New Hartford is going to take the football over. The defense of the Wolverines, their first stop of the Wildcat offense. Let's see if they can respond with a score. There's your score, 21-0. Westline on top of Dike New Hartford. It's Wolverine football right now, and they've got it 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Closed captioning today being brought to you by Valley Bank. 3 championship games on the Fairway Championship Network, and closed captioning brought to you by Valley Bank. Valley Bank, we lead with speed. Record shotgun formation. Down the field we go. Almost intercepted. Throwing into double coverage. Kelly Heyer, the linebacker, dropping back into that hook zone, got a hand on it.
Well, just a replay here. Just looks like a straight pass all the way, no play action. Looked like he had plenty enough time to throw, just overthrew his wide receiver.
You know, that's
actually good job by the safety tipping it, or it would have been a catch.
Just getting there in time. Just getting there.
The intended receiver, McCoy Cameretta, for Dike New Hartford. Back to the drop play, shaking and tackle, a little bit of running room, and that's going to be a pickup of maybe 10 yards for the Wolverines. Boy, that was a nice carry by Brendan Miller.
We're in a funky time right now because we just saw Dike get their first stop on defense after 3 scores. So plan B now looking pretty good defensively. They need to come up with plan B offensively because what they started with hasn't worked. Let's see what plan B is offensively to try to get this game to a 2-score game.
We can already see both formations where shotgun spread them out. Now they're going back to their original formation here, which is just a power eye to get their first down.
Yep.
Quarterback sneak.
Let's see what they come up here with on first down. I'd go back shotgun.
First down at the 49-yard line. Unless I'm mistaken, this is the first time Dike New Hartford has cracked into Wildcat territory.
And also their first down. They had 0 in the first quarter.
There's a look at Coach Don Betts, 4th year at the helm of Wolverine football. Tight end to the near side, man coming in motion. The man in motion is going to get the football.
Ooh.
Trying to sprint it to the outside, and he is drugged down from behind. Michael Weideman on the carry.
Good pursuit by the defense.
I don't think he ever saw the tackler. Watch this, when he turns the corner, I don't think he has any idea this guy's coming.
It's a good job fighting off the block by the defensive end. Great job pursuing. Had
his head downfield, looking downfield. I don't think he ever saw him on the inside.
We've talked about Bo Hasselbrook a couple of times already. That's the defensive end for the Wildcats. He's had a very good first half defensively. Screen is set up.
There you go.
A blocker or 2. That's going to be close to the first down.
Nice play there on 2nd and 10. Pick up about 7. A makeable 3rd and 3. Go screen for the first time today. Good call.
Cy Eichenborg on the reception and the run there for Dike New Hartford.
It's a good job by Rikers keeping the play alive here. Keep backpedaling even though he had defenders in his face. You got to do that for a successful screenplay. You got to draw those defensive linemen in. He did just that.
He also looked him off early. He was looking over to this sideline early on in the play, then went back to the middle.
Back to shotgun formation.
3rd down and 3. And the whistles will stop the play.
That's going to be on the offense.
Dead ball. False start. Offense.
They have tried a couple of times here, and on that handoff, Michael Weideman, they tried a couple of times to get him a little bit more involved, trying to pass the ball to him. And certainly on that handoff, I think they like his speed and certainly want to try to test that Wildcat secondary.
Weideman's a very valuable player for Dike New Hartford because Jablinski's their guy. They've taken him away. He's got to step up. He's their other playmaker. He needs to play big.
They moved Jablinski out to the slot here.
Look out.
Look out.
Sack by the Wildcats.
This is just a heck of a job coming off the outside edge here. We're going to call his name again. I think it was number 84. Hasselborg, who comes up again with another great play. He's been all over the field this first half.
Bo Hasselbrook, the senior defensive end, coming into this game, forcing a couple of fumbles, 12 tackles for loss. And again, he's having a great first half defensively for the Wildcats. So the drive stalls for Dike New Hartford. Jablinski will punt this one away. Nice high kick, and a fair catch is going to be caught. 1st and 10 for West Lyon. When we come back, they'll have the football at their own 24-yard line. West Lyon with the football here about midway through this second quarter. I formation in the backfield. Slot to the far side. Snyder's not much there. Good defense by Dike New Hartford, just closing it down. Breen Greer, Troy Irvin, that interior line. Quick stat being brought to you by Windstream. Average yards per play in favor of the Wildcats of West Lyon.
Is very good if you're a running football team. That is the formula for victory, to average 7 yards per play, especially when you're ground oriented.
2nd down and 10 at the 24-yard line. Cody Arndt's going to line up in the fullback position, number 17 for the Wildcats. And he'll get the football. Just a quick hit up the middle. 1st down and then some. A pickup of 14 yards for Cody Arndt.
Well, I've been really impressed with Cody's running style. There is nothing that's going to bring him down unless it's a form-fit tackle. This shows it right here. If you're going to try to arm tackle this young man, it's not going to work.
Great seal block, though. That was a great hole to run through. Wow.
Brendan Turwee, the offensive lineman, number 75, took 2 guys out of that play. 5'11", 260 pounds. Took 2 defenders out of the play. 21-0, 5:17 to go. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Arndt up the middle, a pickup of 3, maybe 4. There's a lot of meaningful football to be played today involving schools from the state of Iowa. We've got 3 state championship games here, 2A and 3A to follow later on today on the Fairway Championship Network. Coe College and Wartburg begin their NCAA Division III playoffs today. Morningside in the NAIA playoffs, and then of course Iowa and Ohio State, and then Iowa State and Missouri kicks off at 6 p.m. tonight in Ames. A lot of football involving schools from the state of Iowa. Tight end to the near side. Grotwald back to pass. Going to send it out into the... Oh! Well, he's got his man, Bo Hasselbrook, down that sideline. That football left Cody Grotwald's hands. I was going to say that's going to end up in the second row. What a fantastic reception there by the senior tight end.
And you know what? The pass was where only Hasselbrook could catch it. The great coverage. The kid's underneath him. He's got good coverage in position, but watch. Right over his fingertips.
He took quite a shot on that play, too.
And Cody Grotwald is checking himself out of this game. What a sensational catch by Bo Hasselbrook.
Wow. Yeah, he wobbled over to the sidelines, and they're looking at him right now. But Hasselbrook, what a first half for this guy.
And I think we may see a timeout called here by West Lyon.
Yeah, he's just letting the clock run down. He's going to use a timeout.
1st and goal to go at the 9-yard line.
And that's a good timeout. With a backup quarterback, hey, get things set. Let's not panic.
Well, they're working on Cody Grotwald, the senior quarterback. Looks like they're working on that knee, ankle area.
All right, let's take a look at this real quick. How many guys have got in the box? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 right there, although he's kind of flanked out. But you'll see the tight end. You've been running the football so effectively, you're just going to see him sneak out and go upfield, and a great pass by Grotwald. Let's go ahead and run it.
This is the second time they've hooked up today. It's all based off the rushing attack.
When you run the football effectively, you can sneak that tight end off the line occasionally. He gets a free release, a great catch, and a great pass. Big play.
So the new quarterback right now is Tanner Grotwald, the 6'1 senior. 2 out of 3 for 12 yards on the season. Full house backfield, going to pitch it. Schneider's on the carry. Snyder's trying to work his way in. Did he stay in bounds?
Oh.
Stepped out of bounds at the 1-yard line. 2nd and goal to go at the 1-yard line for Inwood West Lyon.
Man, he tried to tight walk that sideline. Let's see. Let's see where his foot goes out. Staying in bounds. Yep, you see his heel back here, probably about the 3-yard line. Looked like he got out of bounds.
Good job by Tanner Grotwald to come in and execute that pitch.
Yeah.
It's not always the easiest thing to do to spin around and pitch like that, but good job.
Yeah, before the play, they were practicing snaps on the sideline during the timeout, but you don't practice tosses.
This is a 2 tight end set, and they'll give it to the 2nd man through the hole. It'll be a touchdown for Trevor Snyder. Snyder's on the touchdown run from 1.5 yards out, number 11 on the year, and the lead is extended for the Wildcats.
Well, they like this formation when they get to the goal line. Instead of giving it to Arndt this time, they give it to Snyder's, who's the tailback.
Watch the blue tidal wave just go forward.
Arndt leads him up and through the hole. Touchdown.
Look how many blue jerseys are laying in the end zone.
That middle linebacker of Dike New Hartford took on 2 blockers.
And one of them was Arndt.
So Schneider scores the touchdown. Now he'll try to kick the extra point. The snap, the placement, the kick is up, and it is good. Wildcats up 4 touchdowns, 4:04 to go, 2nd quarter. 2nd quarter, about 4 minutes remaining. West Lyon on top, 28-0. 3 touchdowns being scored so far by Cody Arndt, 1 by Trevor Snyder's. That last one, 6 plays, 76 yards. Trevor with the 1-yard run.
How about the effort early on here in this game by West Lyon? They have played near flawless football.
Jablinski back, crossing the 10. Got a little running room up near the 30, trying to get it to the outside. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line for Dike New Hartford. Now the offense got to get something churning. At the end of this football game, we will announce the Class 1A Casey's MVP. I want to thank Casey's General Stores, great locations around the state of Iowa, for sponsoring the MVP award. And we will name the recipient after this 1A championship game here on the Fairway Championship Network.
I think there are a couple early contenders in blue jerseys for that right now.
I think you might be right. 1st and 10 at the 32 for Dike New Hartford. Pitch it. Jablinski trying to cut it upfield. Pick up 4, maybe 5 yards.
That's his best run of the day. He only had 2 yards the first quarter. Here's a guy who rushed for nearly 2,000 coming in, had 2 the first quarter. Here he takes the toss. Good job of staying with your blocks. Gets upfield, picks up 5.
I've noticed every time he does get tackled, there's 2 or 3 Wildcat blue jerseys around him. They do a really good job of team tackling.
Jason Van Ginkel in on that stop, the linebacker for the Wildcats, 178-pound senior. Shotgun formation now for Records. They'll set up the screen.
Good hustle. Good hustle.
Here's the deal. Cody Arndt there from his defensive end position making that stop. That's practice. That's reading and reacting what you learn on film work and what you do in practice.
It's recognition. When he started going backwards, Arndt read the screen and then had enough speed to get back upfield and make the tackle from behind. Very good play by Arndt. And he would be one of the contenders right now.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns, yeah.
3rd down and 2, the ball at the 40-yard line.
We've got a timeout. Yes.
Whistle to stop the play. Timeout on the field.
And this one is by
West Lyon.
West Lyon.
2:43 to go in this first half of play. 3rd down and 2 coming up for Dike New Hartford. This is a big 3rd down for the Wolverines. Fan base, young and old alike, loving the effort their student athletes are putting on. That's going to be good enough for the first down. That's just power football. Jablinski averaging 6.8 yards a carry coming into this game. Moves the chains. He picks up 4.
On a quick count, too. I like that. Just get up there and go. Don't give him time to react or set up. Just get it and go.
Coming up at halftime, we want to remind everyone the ICCA Cheer Honor Squad will be performing. That's going to be happening at halftime of this Class 1A state championship game. A lot of young ladies from around the state of Iowa working very hard for this halftime show, and we'll have it for you here on the Fairway Championship Network. Just a quick out to the wide receiver. The pass is going to be brought in by Royce Poole. That's a nice pickup, and he goes out of bounds across midfield.
Good first down play here. Pick up positive yardage, pick up about 7 or 8, and get out of bounds and stop the clock with 2:18 remaining.
Well, if you're Dike New Hartford, you're looking at two things right now. You get the ball at half, so if you can go down and score right now, get the ball back at half, score again, you can cut this lead in half.
You can catch all the tournament action live on the Fairway Championship Radio Network at ihssn.com or AM 940 on your radio dial in Central Iowa. Another pass reception and another first down for Dike New Hartford.
Now this time he goes far enough beyond the sticks to pick up the first down. Better recognition. Good job by Wiedemann.
6'1" senior. Big target there for the quarterback, Josh Reckers. We're approaching the 2-minute mark here in this first half.
A lot of time left. You're only 45 yards away. Plenty of time.
Reckers under center. Jablinski, the pitch, and he'll lose a couple of yards. Reading and reacting. And that time coming up from a defensive secondary position for West Lyon was Dylan McCarty.
Jablinski has had nowhere to go to.
Yeah, we mentioned he came into the game with dang near 2,000 yards rushing, and he hasn't been able to get a yard today.
2nd down and 12 at the 47. Loss of 2 on the play.
He might not be in double digits yet, rushing-wise, because he just lost 2 on that one.
2 wide receivers in this set. Royce Poole to the bottom of your screen. Reckers looking that way. Reckers now going to send it down that far sideline. Incomplete.
Great coverage.
I would agree with you on that, Chuck. There were 2 defenders back there. Really would have to thread the needle to get that pass to drop in there. That will bring up 3rd down and 12 at the 47.
Well, if we go back to the replay, look at the safety, how he was standing there. I mean, he almost knew what the play was at the snap. Run over there to the sideline and take away the go route.
That's 2 good plays by their safeties. They broke up their other pass play, too.
Look at how number 1 is way. Look at that. He's a better receiver than the receiver.
Yeah, Adam Tunissen was back there just waiting for that pass. 3rd down and 12. Josh Reckers, shotgun formation. Good draw play. Reckers has a little bit of running room. Fighting his way for the first down, and he's going to have it at the 35-yard line. Sensational play call there by Coach Don Betts and his offensive staff, and good running by the junior quarterback.
We're going to measure this. I don't know if he got it. He did not get it. It is going to be
Boy, that's
4th
awfully
down.
close. Jeepers creepers.
He has to get to the line. He's just short of the line.
4th and inches. Timeout called by Dike New Hartford. They want to talk about it. I think, fellas, 1:23 to go in the 2nd quarter. You got to go for it.
Oh, no question.
I'm not a coach, though. I just talk about it. We'll find out when we come back. A big 4th down coming up. 4th and inches.
This is the right choice.
They're in tight. Quarterback sneak.
He got it.
A little bit of a push by the running back, and that'll be a 1st down. Josh Reckers on the carry for the Wolverines.
Now, I'm hoping they called 2 plays during the timeout. Quarterback sneak, and then when we pick it up, we are going to run this next play. So hurry up, get to the line, run the play you called during the timeout.
Dike New Hartford, they have 2 timeouts remaining in this first half, so they've got the opportunity to stop the clock and talk about it.
Right. A little time here because they got to set the stick, so the clock just started.
Reckers back to pass. Pump fake, sends it out to the flats. Pass is going to be caught.
Nice catch.
Wiedemann on the reception.
If you're West Lyon, though, you'll take that.
Yeah.
Short gain, inbounds, let the clock run. If you're West Lyon, that's okay.
Just a rollout here.
Clock continues to run under a minute. High formation in the backfield. Reckers back to pass. Pump fake over the middle, and the pass is going to be picked off. West Lyon picks off the pass. Tyler Van Middendorf sitting right there, right back in that hook zone, and the ball went right into his lap. The sophomore with the INT.
West Lyon's been playing zone, so basically number 5 was in charge of his area. He keyed in on the quarterback's eyes. Nice drop here. Keyed in the quarterback's eyes, undercut the play.
That was just a bad decision. That pass had no chance of being completed. There were 2 defenders right there. Another key with that is he got pretty good depth, and he could see the play in front of him. He wasn't chasing. He was actually moving forward, breaking on the football. Nice play.
The Wildcats with a 4-touchdown lead and the football closing seconds of the 2nd quarter. Trevor Schneider's on the carry. Pickup of 1, maybe 2.
And I think really the big reason why he was able to get his depth is they have not been able to establish a run game.
Right.
So with that, the linebackers do not need to play the run. So he was afforded the opportunity to get back in his drop, be able to read his quarterback's eyes and pick it off.
That will be the last play of this first half.
Yeah, the front four for West Lyon has had a great first half. Everybody's had a great first half for West Lyon. That might be the most dominating performance we've seen in the Dome in a championship game this year. They were outstanding.
We'll head to the halftime. Dike New Hartford and their coaching staff will regroup. West Lyon, they'll head into the locker room with a 4-touchdown lead. Wildcats on top of the Wolverines in this Class 1A state championship game.
The other thing, too, is North Polk has 3 losses. They're a very scrappy bunch of seniors.
They were 2 and 3
That's
at
right.
one point.
Well, Valley Bank is sponsoring our closed captioning here on the Fairway Championship Network. We want to thank our good friends at Valley Bank. Valley Bank, we lead with speed. Jablinski deep to receive, and he's got it at the 5-yard line. He'll bring it up across the 20. Trying to find a little running room up near the 30s. Probably going to be tackled at the 25-yard line.
Good gang tackle. A lot of helmets on him on that one.
They've done a good job. They've had several kickoffs just due to them putting points on the scoreboard, but they've done a really good job of containing Jablinski, who's a major threat from a kick return position.
First down and 10 at the 25-yard line for Dike New Hartford. Dike New Hartford on the season averaging 428 yards of total offense per game. In the first half, they had 72 yards of total offense. That give up the middle. Swarming defense by West Lyon. Not much running room.
Well, that's really been the story all day. The defensive front for Inwood West Lyon has done an absolute fabulous job of making plays. Nowhere to run, no hole, no gap.
How many times has he been hit before he's gotten to the line of scrimmage?
You got guys like Brendan Terwee, Tyler Kellenberger, Sam Meyer up front, 260, 250, 180, 200 pounds. I mean, there's some big kids up there. Trying to get it outside to the flats, trying to find a little running room. Not a bad pass. Michael Whiteman. Second down and, I'm sorry, that'll bring up third down. And about 9 at the 26-yard line. And when you get out to the edge here, you need some blocks. And that time, the blocks just were not there.
Yeah, the blocker looked inside and the tackle was on the outside.
I think the other thing, too, we've noticed 3 blue jerseys every time they're tackled.
Trevor Snyder's out there defending for West Lyon. And that pass is going to be incomplete. Out in front of the intended receiver, Eric Jablinski.
Timing just not there.
Yeah, that looked like there was an opportunity, but overthrew his wide receiver.
3 and out for the Wolverines. West Lyon will have the football, and deep to receive for the Wildcats. It looks like Kyle Heyer is back there.
Again, the unusual punting style.
Adam Tunissen also back there. And with the football, it'll be Kyle. Kyle trying to work his way up that sideline. He'll get to the 48-yard line. First and 10 there. Field position again by West Lyon. They're winning that field position battle here early on third quarter.
Well, we talk about special teams all the time. This is a play that was actually very, very important from field point position. Kyle made a great over the shoulder grab because that ball was going to bounce and roll past the 20. Did a great job of corralling that in, moving forward, keeping the field position near and positive to them.
Yeah, there's no statistic for it, but that was probably a 25-yard catch just by catching the football.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line. Cody Arndt on the carry, bounces off the pile, a pickup of about 5 yards.
Well defended at the point of attack. They just didn't wrap up.
There was a big pile in that initial hole. You're right. And Cody Arndt was able to bounce his way to the outside.
He actually bounced off 2, I think, in the backfield. Got it upfield. 5-yard gain on first down.
And back out there is number 11, Cody Grotwald, the senior quarterback of the Wildcats. Injured late second quarter, but he is back out there quarterbacking his team. And a nice carry by Sully Alastaz. First down. First man through the hole, picked up about 5, maybe 6 yards. Good enough for the first down to the 39-yard line.
You don't have to be great blockers when you only have to hold your block for about half a second. That was such a quick hitting play. Just get your helmet on the guy. That's basically all they did. And nice game.
That time they lined up Alastaz in that fullback position over Arndt. Just a good little switch up.
Showing some discomfort on the field for Dike New Hartford, and now going out of this game is Troy Irvin, and the head official, noticing that Irvin is in some discomfort, took him over to the sidelines. I think for the young man's protection, I got to give that officiating crew some credit. You need to take a breath, son.
They only got 10 guys on defense.
And timeout on the field, and Dike New Hartford, with all of that shuffling in and out, they need to take a timeout. A defensive timeout here for Dike New Hartford. 1st and 10 at the 39 for West Lyon when we return. I love when you hear directions in the state of Iowa about how to get somewhere in a
Turn
small.
at the Casey's.
Take a left at
Take a left at the Casey's.
There
Take
you
a
go.
right at the Casey's. If you get to the Casey's, you've gone too far. They are tremendous community partners around the state of Iowa. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. Arndt on the carry, and he'll pick up about 4, maybe 5. Good defense that time, staying with it defensively. Nathan Riggle for Dike New Hartford.
Well, this is exactly what the Wildcats want to do. Pick up 4 or 5 yards of crack, take the time off the clock, no turnovers. This drive's been just exactly what they wanted.
Cy Eichenborg also went on the stop for Dike New Hartford. Wolverines out of the North Iowa Cedar League. That's their conference. Tight end to the near side. Schneider's on the carry, and I'm sorry, that's not Schneider's, that's Sully Alastaz. Sully Alastaz to the 15, first down.
Good run. Good run.
You are watching the Iowa High School Football Championships on the Fairway Championship Television Network. All around the great state of Iowa. It's on broadcast television. You got a TV and rabbit ears, you can watch the games.
By the way, if you've gone to the fairway, you've gone too far if trying to get to my house, okay?
We have a fairway a few blocks away from our house.
We just got a new one.
Really?
Yeah, in West Des Moines.
Trevor Schneider's just a dive play up the middle, a pickup of about 3.
You know, we've highlighted Arndt most of the day, but Snyder's and Alastaz have really done a good job of being 2 other options for those, just as a little mix-up.
Their job is much easier when Arndt is well established.
In the Wildcats semifinal win over Council Bluffs St. Albert, 35-7 the final there, they rushed for over 300 yards. They'll do the same here, I have a feeling, in this championship game. I formation in the backfield. 2nd down and 8. One man is not going to bring down the running backs of the Wildcats. Trevor Schneider's pushes ahead. It'll be 3rd down and 3 inside the 10-yard line.
A couple good collisions on that play. Look at number 44, Terry Moody, taking on Arndt, lead blocker. Bam! Good pad popping in there.
Look at the blue going forward. Unbelievable.
Brendan Miller wrapping up the ball carrier from behind for Dike New Hartford. There's a shot of that young man, Brendan Miller, 5'8", 170-pound junior, on that Dike New Hartford team. And we're going to have a little bit of jumping in the backfield. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty on the Wildcats.
Do you think those reserves at West Lyon like doing that ISO drill when they have to take Arndt on? 150-pound sophomore. Here you go. Go ahead. Now, you try to take on his block. Shed his block. You know.
Well, but that's how you find good kids.
And
we talked about that sophomore for City High.
And that's how you get better.
And City High last night in a 4A team had a sophomore starting at defensive end. The reason why is because during practice they figured out nobody could block the sophomore. So they started varsity. To the end zone, touchdown.
How about Grotwald? What a great pass.
Adam Tunissen on the touchdown reception. 14-yard touchdown pass. Wildcats up 34-0.
It's a first pass that has not been intended to pass a brook.
Let's just take a look at this. And here's the receiver right here. He's just going to go across, up. Great pass from Grotwald. Leads him perfectly. That's easy.
And on to kick
all the
the
way
extra
across
point.
the field. Little pick by the official. That's like stealing.
Trevor Snyder's. The extra point is up, and it is good. 35-0. West Lyon on top of Dike New Hartford. Midway through the third quarter. That's the score. The shutout for West Lyon. With 7 minutes to go here in this third quarter. 35-0. Now that means, Chuck, it will be a rolling clock.
Correct.
Until Dike New Hartford scores. Eric Jablinski working his way upfield. Eric Jablinski's got a little running room. He's got more running room down that sideline. Going to be shoved out of bounds near the 45-yard line.
Good job that time. That's probably the first time all day we've seen him get a head of steam up and be able to run in the open field.
A phenomenal kickoff return for the senior.
It's a good job reading off his blocks and arm tackle and shedding the 2 arm tackles there. Just pure determination on the senior to get across the midline.
Snyder's forces him out of bounds.
Mike.
8 plays, 52 yards, 3 minutes, 27 seconds.
The ref got confused.
First down for Dike New Hartford. Josh Recker's shotgun formation.
There you go.
Sends it outside very quickly. Nice pitch and catch there, and that'll be a pickup of about 8 yards. Second down and 2.
Lined up in the shotgun formation that time. They threw to the slot wide receiver, saw that a linebacker was covering him off coverage and had plenty enough space. Easy pitch and catch for 8-9 yards every time.
I think West Lyon is going to let everything be in front of them. They are not going to get beat, so you'll see a few more of those open up.
The give inside, good enough for the first down. First and 10. At about the 35-yard line.
Brandon Terwee, number 75, we just saw him. What a good story. Cancer survivor in high school. Young man out there playing.
There he is. It's a big young man.
Works on the farm back home.
Looks like he works in the weight room too.
Yeah.
Reckers back to pass. Screen is set. Jablinski with the football. He's off to the races. Down inside the 25-yard line. First down.
Well, if you look at Jablinski and Reckers, they've combined for almost 5,000 yards this year, their offense. They're really 90% of their offense. So good call here to get them both involved. Good screenplay. Great job by the offensive line. Get downfield, throwing a couple nice blocks.
Tyler Van Middendorp had the angle, tried the arm tackle, and that failed. He was the first Wildcat defender on the scene. I formation in the backfield. Jablinski on the carry. Pickup of 1, maybe 2. Just off tackle, and a host of blue shirts will get off the top of him.
And again, it's kind of important here that Dike scores relatively quickly to get the clock stopped. Because it's just rolling along right now. As soon as they score, we will go back to normal clock. So if they can get it in sooner rather than later, they still have a shot. But as long as the clock keeps rolling down 5 scores, West Lyon's in great shape. 2
wide receivers in this formation to the bottom of your screen. Reckers back to pass. Looking. Fires downfield. Almost picked off. In and out of the hands of Kelly Heyer. Back there on defense. Kelly's got 4 interceptions on the season.
We got a flag. Might have roughing the passer here.
Number 12, Kyle Heyer, back there defending. They'll sort this one out, and again, with the rolling clock, seconds continue to tick off.
Sure. 58 on the defense. It's half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
It must have been a late hit on him.
Referee needs to pick up his flag. It's lying at the 32-yard line. There it is.
Clearly threw the ball. And at that point, you're supposed to lay off the quarterback. There's really been a effort to make sure that is done, and if not, they're going to call the flag on you.
Well, you think Kyle's going to think about that one for a while?
Right between his hands.
Rutgers back to pass. Screen is set, nothing there.
The screen's worked the last couple times. This time, credit the defense of West Lyon Inwood. Great job of not getting fooled and reading that play early.
Poor space relationship between the receiver and the blockers, because he got bunched up in there and it was just a mass of humanity. You couldn't even see where the receiver was.
Second down and 10.
Very nice.
That's a good pass and a good catch by Royce Poole.
Watch him look off the receiver initially and then come back to the slant. Watch him look over here, then he goes back to the slant, throws it in there, nice catch, good play.
And that really was, Royce did a nice job of going down and getting that football. Dike New Hartford, 2 out of 8 on third down conversions. It's 3rd and 3 right now. Jablinski trying to follow the blocking, and he loses the football. Jablinski loses the football. It's scooped up by the Wildcats.
He's gone.
Oh, my heavens. Adam to Nissen down the sidelines. Touchdown. 98 yards fumble return for the Wildcats, and the lead is extended.
Now there is a turn of events.
Wow.
Wow is right.
Take a look at the replay here. Off right tackle play. And looks like he was reaching for the end zone.
Adam just took the ball out of his hands.
Well,
Heads up play by Adam to just grab the football and run.
Well, looked like almost Jablinski handed it to him. And he just stuck it up there right in his breadbasket. He just picked it and ran.
It looks like Jablinski was rolling over, still on the defender, so not technically down. Reached over. Just a heads-up play by the West Lyon defender.
That's the example of a guy trying to do too much. Trying to make an extra yard when it wasn't there.
West Lyon on the 97-yard fumble return for a touchdown, extending their lead.
And that is a record, right?
That is a record. The old one was 80 yards. That one was 97.
Let's take a look at it again. The reason I don't think they blow this play dead is because he rolls over the defender.
And he's still in motion, I guess.
Oh, but his hip's down right there.
Very close. But you know what? When you're down 35-0, that's what happens. It seems like you just can't catch a break.
Dike New Hartford with the football back near the 30-yard line.
Nice defense.
Yeah, that was, out to the flats. Tyler Van Middendorp right there defending for the Wildcats.
Great technique all around, because you look at Hasselbrook get his hand up when he's coming off the edge. They throw it out to the wing, and then a great tackle where he gets into his body. Doesn't reach, doesn't grab, puts his helmet right in his breadbasket. Good form tackle.
Closing seconds here of this third quarter. 4 wide receivers in this formation for Dike New Hartford. Rutgers back to pass. Sends it downfield over the head of the intended receiver.
And that's the last play of the quarter. Clock keeps rolling.
We'll move to the fourth quarter. West Lyon, the 8th-ranked team in the state, leading Dike New Hartford as we approach the final 12 minutes. 42-13, the football at the 26-yard line, and there's head coach Don Betts, 4th year at the helm of Dike New Hartford football.
Hey, they've had a great year.
You can't take anything away from it.
Great year.
And you go through the playoffs like they did, beating the 3rd, 4th, 5th ranked teams. Rutgers on the carry, trying to find a little running space, and there's not much there.
You know, Mark, one thing I like to say about football is there's 2 ways to lose football games. And one is you lose the game, and that is you turn it over, penalties, things you control, you make mistakes with. The other way is you just get beat. The other team that day plays a great game, and they're just better than you are that day. I don't think there's any question that's the case today, where Inwood West Lyon has been awesome.
I can't remember. You brought up the dropped interception. I can't remember a mistake by West Lyon.
No. They've had, what, one penalty?
Dike New Hartford's going to kick this one away. Nice high kick. Kind of bobbled back at about the 25-yard line. Tunisian gets it up to about the 27, 28-yard line.
Actually, it's 2 penalties, just to be correct.
Two penalties on West Lyon?
Yeah, the one was a roughing the passer on the dropped interception. So really the dropped interception wouldn't have mattered anyways. But boy, this has been a flawless effort by West Lyon.
Well, just a little bit after 1 o'clock, we've got the 2A championship game, Iowa City Regina and North Polk. Then later on this afternoon at 4 o'clock, it's Solon and Bishop Heelan. That's in the 3A title game.
West Lyon back to their power I front.
And they'll give it to Sully Alastaz.
Seen that
Pick up of a couple.
Seen that play a few times today. Just the easy dive give, and Alastaz hits it up in there, picks up 4 yards, close to 5.
Alastaz only a junior, whole nother year left with him. He's got a bright future ahead of him.
He's got some good speed. You could tell he really moves his feet well. A couple of good running backs coming up in our next couple games. Pickard for North Polk is a lot of fun to watch.
Mike Malloy for Bishop Heelan. He's a speedster.
Holy cow, is he fast.
Cody Arndt, just the dive ahead, picks up a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd down and 2, 3rd and short coming up for the Wildcats.
There's a short list of guys who have outstanding speed. I mean, Tim Dwight maybe had the list. When you watched him play in high school, you know, Tavian Banks was another one. Andy Brodell at Ankeny, I thought, was just lightning on the football field. Malloy's on that short list. I mean,
well, he's one of the best sprinters in the state of Iowa, outside of being a good football player.
In that semifinal game, he looked like he was on fire. He ran so fast.
Second man through the hole, and a little bit of running room. First down, Trevor Snyder's with the carry across midfield.
Well, you look at West Lyon's year this year, guys. Second game of the year against Western Christian Hull. They lost a heartbreaker 13-14. Middle of the year, they lost to Emmitsburg 10-17. Came back in the playoffs. We discussed that. Nipped Emmitsburg by 7 points there. And I really think that's what got their momentum going. And we talk about it all the time, but when a team starts rolling, it's hard to get them stopped. And you could tell right from the get-go that this is a confident football team walking in here, and they've shown it all day.
Well, you look at Dike New Hartford. They lost back-to-back games in the middle of the season. Came back with a long winning streak and made it here to the finals. They turned things around.
On the carry there, Cody Arndt lost his helmet. That helmet is banged up after the season he's put in wearing that thing.
There's a lot of equipment on him that's banged up, because really,
look at the jersey. You got the jersey. It's all tore up on the shoulder pads. People scratching and clawing in the pile.
He is a physical football player. 2nd
down and 8 at the 45-yard line of the Wolverines. Full house backfield, power I formation. And the give is going to be to Alastaz, and he'll pick up 5 yards. 3rd down and 3.
I do want to make a point. You know, when you're talking about the smaller classes, the 8-man, the A, the 1A, you really don't have a lot of depth. So by no means are they running up the score here with their starters still in the game. It's just that's the guys who are out there.
You can catch all the tournament action live on the Fairway Championship Radio Network at www.ihssn.com, or for Central Iowa, tune into AM 940 on your radio dial. Good defensive stand there by Dike New Hartford, pushing the pile back.
I mentioned that because I just happened to look down at the West Lyon sidelines, and they're organizing their second team, and the coach actually has a sheet in front of him with the plays on it. So here they come. Terrific effort.
Starters
Terrific effort.
making their way off the field. Jay Rosenboom out there to congratulate them, and a standing ovation by the West Lyon faithful.
This will be Coach Rosenboom's 4th state title.
Punting that one away and out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. Adam Tunisian kicking the ball away. They'll spot it at about the 34-yard line.
That's a 6-yard punt. Not one for the highlight team.
North Polk fans starting to make their way into the Unidome. Iowa City Regina fans making their way into the dome as well.
This game was a bit of an anomaly for us. Yesterday we saw 3 games. Every team going into the finals was 13-0. In this game, we saw an unranked team and an 8th ranked team who knocked off virtually everybody ahead of them. So this one was a little different. But next game, Regina has been #1 all year. They're looking to go wire to wire, much like West Des Moines Dowling Catholic did last night. They were #1 in a lot of polls preseason, went wire to wire. Very difficult to do. Madrid couldn't do it. Lennox couldn't do it. But West Des Moines Dowling Catholic last night in the final game did it. And in this game, again, we had 2 kind of underdog Cinderella stories. But in the next game, Regina looking to go wire to wire.
Reckers back to pass to the sideline.
There he got it.
And it's picked off. Kyle Heyer picking the pass off. And oh, we got a flag on the play, but the young man's still running.
And they're still blocking.
And it's going to come back. Flag up at about the 42-yard line, but an interception.
I think if the ref had a second flag, we would have thrown the second flag, because right after that, there was another block in the back.
Well, that's your beanbags, the second one. Then you throw your hat, and then I'm not sure what happens after the third one.
Kyle Heyer on the interception, which is good because that young man dropped one a while ago, but he got his mitts on that one.
A block in the back. On the return team, be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Still first down.
And the second team offense is going to get to run some plays here for West Lyon.
They'll march off the 10-yard penalty on the block in the back. For Dike New Hartford, this is just an example of what a lot of things have just gone wrong for Dike New Hartford today, and turnovers one of them.
Well, I think
but again, West Lyon just played a perfect game, played very, very well.
Well, I think if you take a look at it, he was taking Jablinski out of the game.
Yeah.
Because he's rushing for 2,000 yards. It gets him completely out of their offensive rhythm. Once that happened, West Lyon was able to dictate it from there.
Quick stat brought to you by Windstream, showing 3 turnovers for Dike New Hartford.
And again, no turnovers for West Lyon. Their execution was unbelievable. They could not have executed any better today.
So some new football players are out there right now for West Lyon. Carrying the football there, Garth Knobloch. Also out there right now, Joel Geyer for the Wildcats. And we'll try to get as many names out there as possible. Tyler Cruz out there on the field. And so is Clark Knobloch. A.J. Whalen out there. So a lot of guys getting to play here for West Lyon in this state championship game. 3:05 to go in the 4th quarter. Working his way around to the side. Tyler Cruz there on the carry.
Nice reward for both teams to get everybody on the field, to get out and actually play a couple plays on the turf at the Unidome.
You know, we're really fortunate, we haven't touched on this during our games, to have a facility like this that houses our state championships. You know, as a child growing up, this is what you're dreaming about, getting to the dome, playing on that cool AstroTurf, have an opportunity to play inside. So it is neat to have some of these kids be rewarded, some of these underclassmen starting their own traditions coming up in the next couple years to get an opportunity to step out on the field.
Well, how big has it gotten, get to the dome? I mean, that's
road to the dome.
That's a saying now.
That's the moniker.
I don't remember hearing road to Kinnick or road to Jack Trice, but road to the dome, that's the mantra at virtually every high school in the state when you start practice in August.
4th down here and 5 at the 47-yard line, under 2 to play in this football game.
Taking a look at Coach Betts again, great year by him, rallying his troops after a couple losses mid-season, having an opportunity come back, get to the dome. Great job by him and his staff.
Well, we talk about everything that's going on, and that's just a nice sweep play. Good run with the football. Tyler Cruz, he'll go out of bounds, first down. We've seen some great football here, and I know we always thank the technical crew, but the camera people, the people in the truck, the people down on the field, pulling cable, getting everything all set up. We have a phenomenal crew here with the IHSSN and the Fairway Championship Network. We've got the easy job. The three of us. I mean, we got the easy job of the whole deal.
And I know how much the three of us appreciate being indoors.
Well, without question. 1 minute to go in this football game.
Not all those press boxes are heated. I can vouch for that.
And the victory formation right now by West Lyon. I remember going out and doing high school football for the radio. You couldn't even count sometimes having a roof that didn't leak on some of those press boxes.
Well, I'd be lying if I said I haven't been on a few sidelines in the snow.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Clock continues to run. West Lyon will have one more snap of the football. Coach Rosaboom congratulating his players as they come off the field. A state championship for the Wildcats here in 2010.
This will add to their titles in 98, 99, and 95.
That'll do it.
Great job.
The last play of the game. It all started back in the first quarter with a 50-yard touchdown run by the senior running back Cody Arndt, and it just capitalized from there. There's that young man, number 17, just gave his head coach a hug. The blue and white of West Lyon, the 8th-ranked Wildcats, will cap off the season 12 wins, 2 losses, and a state championship for Dike New Hartford. A sensational run to this championship game for Coach Don Betts and the Wolverines. The award presentations when we return.
Wolverines, in a real sense, your accomplishments this season is why so many kids play this game. Unranked, a number 3 district seed 4 weeks ago, but remember, you had to earn your way and win your way into this game, and you did it by defeating 3 rated teams. That's a great testimonial to your ability and the pride and enthusiasm that you've created in your school and communities, and exactly what is embodied in this trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, the Wolverines from Dike New Hartford. Wildcats, your 3rd title and your first in the last 11 years. You are the state champions. Congratulations.
Probably when they were.
Well, the Casey's MVP in this 1A championship game, it's going to go to the talented running back, Cody Arndt from West Lyon. 50-yard touchdown run early first quarter, and that just set the tone for the game.
Can I give a couple honorable mentions? Because I thought Cody Grobwald, the quarterback, and Bo Hasselbrook, both as a receiver and defensive end, had great games as well. There were a lot of standouts.
Absolutely. Cody Arndt, 16 carries, 96 yards, 3 touchdowns. Phenomenal game by that young man, and he and his teammates celebrating a state championship here inside the Unidome. The 1A title game, it's all finished here in 2010. Coming up next, the 2A state championship game, Iowa City, Regina, and North Pole.